In a previous video, I modeled this laptop, and I did it in a two-part video series, and I like it. I think it's cute. It looks like plastic. It looks a little bit like a toy, and that's about the effect that I'm going for at this point in my modeling abilities. But I learned a few things from doing this, and that's why I want to do another one. However, this time I am not going to go for this style of laptop. I want to do something that I designed. Well, I designed that other one, but this is just something I drew up quickly in Flash, and this would represent the bottom half of sort of a military laptop. It would be sort of thicker than your standard laptop, and there would be some kind of buckles or clips here for the top piece to attach to this. This would be the computer portion with a bunch of dials, which obviously wouldn't work on a standard laptop that flips closed, okay? But if you had something that clipped on and it had some depth to it, you might be able to imagine that. But anyways, it would have some dials and a little trackpad and some speakers here, as well as some kind of keyboard and some sliding, switches, toggle switches, whatever, and an input for a cable, a big industrial cable, and perhaps that cable would attach to the top part of this, and maybe built into the top would be some kind of a laptop screen. There would also be your typical sort of CD drive and some connections, maybe a speaker or a headphone jack, or maybe a microphone jack, and maybe some USB or FireWire connections as well. So this doesn't necessarily have all the parts that I would want, but it would have most of them anyhow. And then a little bit of design elements, maybe recessed into the main body, or maybe sticking up. I'm not quite sure. So I figured I would give a try at modeling this. The only other time I've drawn something and then modeled it was I did one of my guitars. And it turned out relatively well, but this gives me a chance to practice some of the techniques that I'm using, very basic techniques, beginnerish techniques, but it gives me a chance to practice, and I enjoy doing it, and so I'm going to give it a try. So feel free to watch along and see how I struggle through mistakes and all, and we'll see if we can do something with this. All right, so I have got my image in here, so I can refer to it here, but I can also go back to that screen, and I'm in Blender 2.76 in top ortho mode, and let's double check that we're recording. And I'm just going to do a test of this recording, make sure it's working, and then I'm going to come back and I'll get modeling. All right, so I'm not going to be doing this to any mathematical specifications. It's going to be just some kind of loose. All right, so the way I'll start this out is actually put on my screencast keys, make sure they're on. Wow, make duplicates real, whatever that means. Shift A, add a plane, scale it in the X. Oh, I guess scale it in every way. All right, so that would be my start. Edit mode, and let's extrude this upwards like that. I'm going to grab all these edges, and I'm going to Control B, and no, I'm not going to do that yet. Come back here to apply scale and try again. There we go. Round this out nicely. Something like that. Okay, so that's what it would look like. And I'll go ahead and I want to add another piece to this. So face mode, I'm going to hit E to extrude. I'm going to pull this down a little bit, and I'm going to scale it in. Let's see how even that looks. Let's scale it in the Y a little bit more. Okay, so let's check that out. Okay. That's what it's looking like so far. We'll deal with smoothing and stuff later. So that's my base. And all right, let's come back in, grab that surface, and what I'll do is I'll inset this. Okay, that looks fine. And I think at this point I'm going to go ahead and extrude it downwards just a little bit. Okay. And now in order to work my main surface, which is this part with the bolts as well, this, I am going to go Shift D, make a new selection of that. So I've got that separate piece there that I can use to work on. Now, I am going to want to scale this in a little bit as well. So I'm going to just hit scale, and we'll have a look at this. Maybe we'll try wireframe. All right, and scale it on the Y as well. Oh. Let's have a look at that. And before I go much further, I'm going to put on a matte cap, and ambient occlusion will help me see my shadows. Let's have a look at that. Okay, all right, we're going to go with that for the time being. All right, so let's go ahead and save this as a military laptop. And what I'm going to do now is start creating these dividing lines. All right. Yeah, I'm really not going to be using any real mathematical aspects here. Let's just see all that. I might have to scale this a little bit differently, but okay. So what I'll do is, for now, I'm going to use the knife tool. In fact, what I'll do, I think, is I'm going to hide the rest of this so I can only work on this. All right, let's go back in and use the knife tool and just arbitrarily, I'm going to cut across. And that'll be the area that I'll have my trackpad and some other stuff in it. So let me grab these points and scale Y0 to make sure this line is straight. Now, I also need these lines here. All right, the trackpad will go in the middle, so I want a little bit of space on the side for those knobs and speaker things. So it's not quite thirds that I want this in. All right, so I'm going to use the knife. And I can move these, of course, so I'll just go ahead and put them in. We'll straighten them. This is scale X0. Scale X0. Now I'll use this as a guide as my center, and again I realize that this is not necessarily going to be exact. What would happen if I came out to this line? How would that be? Could I make it fit with the trackpad and the knobs and stuff like that? Or come in just a little bit. Oh, not that one. Okay, I mean, I could center them and then, scale next. I don't really care that much. But I've got those lines there now. And so, let's just check something out. Those would be my regions. Obviously, I'll need more later. I think I'll work with that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit inset. Now I'm going to hit inset twice. I'm going to get in a little bit closer. Ah, jeez. I hope I don't have any. Okay. Inset twice. Oh, just something like that would probably be good enough. Let's try that. Hit E to extrude and bring it up just a little bit. Did I actually move it at all? Let's try moving it a little bit. Oh yeah, I did actually. I can see over here. Well, I can move these again, so let's check it out. There we go. Okay, not bad. And I wonder if I can bevel these lines. I could try. Yeah, I could always try. Not be necessary, but well, I really want both of them, don't I? I might be wasting time here. Got something extra in there. Do I have everything that I need? Or am I missing one here? Ah. That. This may or may not be a good idea. Always worth trying. Control B. Let's see if I try that much. I may have some overlap. I may not even have got this one here. Or did I? Yeah, maybe I did. Yeah, I did. You know what? I think maybe that is okay. Try with a different, sort of a shinier material. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to go with that. Let's bring this stuff back. And I may have to bring this up a little bit so you can see it. There we go. That's the general idea. Yep, that's the general idea. All right, we're going to save that and keep going. All right, what to do? What to do? What to do? I guess we should we'll work on the trackpad here, and that's going to go in this area. So Shift A, make it plain. Okay, it's just the lighting. I feel like that line didn't do as good a job on it, but maybe it's fine. So something like that, right? That's where it would be. It doesn't have to be further down as it looks like in the diagram, and it's not taking up as much space. That's the way we did that. I did that. Okay, I'm going to come into here and I'm going to extrude this up because we're going to use this to create a little indent. I'll just go ahead and see if I can round this out, or if I have to do apply scale. No, it's not. It's not. It's not working properly. So I will do that. Make sure all my polys are facing the right way. They probably are, but yeah. All right. I need to go on it in a moment. That's better. Okay, so that is what I'd use to push into the surface. I think that's where I want it, so let's give it a try. Select that surface, Boolean difference, select my cutting tool, which is that. Yeah, looks good. And it comes up, and it's not very far in there. Maybe I'll do that again and go a little deeper. Let's go a little deeper. Not too much. Oh, didn't take it at all that time. What did I do? All right. Difference. Cutting object, apply. There we go. Not sure it's that much deeper, but it's fine with me. Okay, great, cool. Now, scale this thing in the Z. It's gonna be nice and thin going in there. So I need this line going across. And so the way I'll do that is using the knife tool once again. Okay, yep, using the knife tool. I don't need it like that. Just where? Maybe there. Come over this side. Straighten these lines out again in a minute. Yep, better hide all this stuff. You know, I'll just bring this to its own layer. Okay, so where is it? Okay, good. Very good. Okay, I'm on edge. And scale Y 0. Good. And for this, I'm going to do the same kind of technique. Oh, geez. Double inset. Pull it nice and close. Give it a bit of space, say there. And then just the top. E to extrude. Pull it up just a little bit. And try that. Okay, and do I have to bevel that? Let's see if I can. I keep checking to see if I'm in edit mode, and I am. Yeah, we'll try to bevel that. Over here. Hang on. Just like that. Let's see what that looks like. That puts a little lip on there, but I'm fine with that. Get rid of those. All right, good enough. Let's give it a try moving it back. I'll have to do some work on it anyhow, but just to get a sense of what it's like in here, and maybe the scale it to fit in the hole there. Let's try, this is a general scale. And we'll scale it again, holding shift to slow her down, smaller increments, scale in the Y, holding shift. Just make it fit. It's too much. I guess I was looking at the wrong line. I was looking at this line for some reason while I was doing that one. Okay, that fits in there pretty nicely. Let's have a closer look at this edge, if that's the right one. That one's already beveled, so maybe I'll try and see what happens if I bevel this. Well, we're going to smooth this anyhow. In fact, I want to try another material for a second there. So when I do that, I get this weird look. I'll just come over to the normal auto smooth and I'll put something like 20. And we'll see how that looks. And that generally looks pretty good. Let's push that down a bit more. You know, so that's what that's gonna look like. I could do the same thing for the body now, so I'll go ahead and smooth it and I'll get that effect. But I'll come to auto smooth and I'll try 20 and I'll get that. So it looks all right. I'm not going to go obviously with a gold color for a military thing. Now, I may have to put some design elements here, you know. On the other hand, if your hand was there, it might be in the way. I've got some little circles here. We'll go back to that. Try, no, we're going to stick with that. Or do I want that one? No, I want this one for now. Yeah, so I've got some little circles in there, and I've got this thing. So I'm actually going to take this back out, move it to its own layer. Let's keep saving, and let's go ahead and move the cursor to selected, and I will add a circle. This will be a pretty small detail, but I'm not even sure what these things are. Some tactile thing. Maybe there's buttons on the side of these and you press these and it just tells you where it is. So let's go into that, put a face on it, and let's extrude it up a little bit. And while I got it there, I'm going to bevel it down if I can. And just add a bunch of segments sort of to round it out like that. And I'll come back up. And can I hide that for a moment? I'll get rid of that bottom face. And we'll see. This, I mean, it's not exactly a circle, but it'll be okay, I hope. You know, I can smooth that too. You know, just create a little bit of texture here. Okay, let's try, maybe I'll use an array. I'll do it like that. Make it minus 1 point, try 1.5 for the time being. And I'm looking at, say, 3. And just get a sense of what that looks like. It looks okay to me. Copy that, bring it to the other side. Just wondering if they're high enough. more for that. Or will I? Yeah, I think I will. Let's go ahead and apply that. I do feel like I like that better, so I'm just going to join those right now. Save it. And I'm going to work on this. And how am I going to do that? All right. Circle. What am I doing? I'm looking for some edit copy or something. Rotate Z180. And bring it back. And join those up. And join those up. Put a face on it. Extrude it up. Make sure all the polys are facing the right direction. Just lining that arrow up. And then I'll make some adjustments from there. Now, if I do this, it's going to be a straight cut. If I go into this, I grab that edge. Let me see if I can bevel this upwards and get a little bit of a curve. At that point, I better, I'll just apply rotation and scale and make sure all my normals are facing outwards. I'm going to do a test. It's basically what I wanted, isn't it? Maybe even a little deeper. Maybe not, though. Let's hide that. Yeah, I think it needs to be a little deeper. Which means it might go all the way through. Let's try that, though. It's not causing too much distortion. A little bit, but it's not really that visible. Let's just hide that for the moment and move this back and see what it looks like in situ. Now, with that done, I might need to bring this up just a little bit. Let's try another color. Another shade or whatever. I'll go back to that one. Oops. Well, I think it might be okay. I think we did it. No, okay. Let's come back to here and unhide that and move this to the first layer. Rotate Z90 and let me see if this can be used over here for this indentation here. Obviously not that size, but so let's really scale it down like that. Scale it in the Y. Okay, that's going to change the curvature. So instead, I'll go in. Now I do have a roundedness on one edge, but that may be okay. I'm in the wrong thing. Let's come into that. In wireframe, I'll do this. I'll grab that one and bring it down a little bit too. And it doesn't have to be too much. Let's see if I move it in position. It's not going to be exactly lined up with those holes, and that's probably fine. You know, that kind of thing. Scale in the Z a bit, give it a bit more thickness so I can push it into the ground. Let's try that. Okay, that's too much. I just want the littlest bit, like that much. Is that too much? You know, that's all right. Let's get rid of that. That's okay. All right, so that's what that piece looks like, roughly. Anyhow, okay. You know, I'm just coming back and I'm thinking about saving this instead of deleting this piece, because I realize that these things here, little indentations or things sticking up, I think I might do them as indentations actually. I think it'll look cooler that way. I could probably use that piece. So I just want to give it a try and see what it would be like. It's not necessarily the right size, but maybe. And let's just do this. Let's just see if I lower this down and I figure out where I would want it. Copy this and duplicate it. Say it was like that. I need room for a screw on either side. Let's bring them down a bit. I'm thinking if I duplicated that and brought it over here, okay, so it's about twice the distance from the edge. Twice the distance of one of those from the edge. That's a little closer, so I'll just bring this in just a little closer, just eyeballing it. Well, it's not bad. Let me control join those. Join all those. So I got it all? Yes, I do. And let's see. Let's try it there. See if this is going to work. Looks like it did. Will it look good? That side looks good. Yeah, that side looks good as well. Okay. I don't really think I need it up here. I think it's a little bit of overkill. And so let me hide those and have a look at that. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm getting rid of those now. I'm glad I saved that. I feel better about that now. Some of these are that's too bright. Yeah. All right. I'm What's that one like? Yeah, I'll go back to where we were. Good. Okay, so far so good. What to do next? Well, I could probably easily do some of these screws. I'm just putting off some of the little bit more intensive things to do. You know, so I'll get some of the design elements in there. All right. Just to decide how big I want this to be. All right, well, let's give it a shot anyhow. Okay, so far so good. And I will cursor selected. I guess I want the cross kind. So I'll bring in a cube and scale it down quite a bit. Something like that. Shift D, rotate Z90. I'll join these pieces. And before I do that, I'll apply rotation and scale. Make sure all the polys are facing outwards. And is that what I want then? Okay, just something like that. Let's apply scale to that as well, and try Boolean. Yeah, looks like it worked. Okay, I'll get that. Get rid of that. Let's come in here and see if I can bevel this and this. No, what have I got? I didn't get the whole thing. Silly. There we go. Let's put one segment in there, and that's fine. I don't know if I want to get rid of the bottom face of it right now. Let's smooth that. That looks like. It looks okay there. We'll see if I can get it up this way, or perhaps this one has to go over to that side like that. Now, is there another one up there? There is one up there, so maybe I can do that. No, I'm going to have them at different positions. That's okay. I'm at different positions, and I'll just put a copy that over to the other side, and they'll be in the same position on the other side. Just a little bit strange here. I kind of want it right in the curvature here. So if those are there, and I grab them, I suppose I could be doing stuff like mirroring. Why didn't that work? Oh, no. That's strange. Maybe it's not strange at all. I'm just didn't realize it was going to do it that way. Okay, Okay, so that's roughly in. That's awfully close to the edge. And actually, I think I'm going to. I'm not going to bother with that right now. I don't want. I was going to stretch it, but I think that'll cause me some more grief later on. All right, stop screwing around here. Let's just have a look at this. Well, that one's close to the edge as well. So that's where they are. That's where they are. This one looks closer to the edge, though. Look, you know, it's a mechanical thing. It doesn't mean it has to be made to perfection and, you know, completely symmetrical. You know, it's so top secret that people made these on their own, and it wasn't an assembly line. I will say that I'm not crazy about. Let's see if I can grab all of this and scale it in the X just a little bit. No. I'm not liking it. I'm leaving it. It's fine. Okay, the screws are in, and I won't bother to join them to the body. Okay, cool. I think I'll take a little break, and then I'll come back to this a little bit longer. Let's just see how long we've been recording. Yeah, that's a good enough place to stop it for now. Okay, so I'll be back with the next one soon.